Shalom and good evening. This is TV7 Israel News broadcast to you from Jerusalem. And in today's top stories, Palestinian Islamists fire a barrage of rockets from the Gaza Strip towards Israel's southern communities, prompting a series of Israeli retaliatory strikes against Hamas militant installations. The U.S. State Department released its annual country report on terrorism for 2018, in which, as it has been since 1984, the Islamic Republic of Iran retained its standing as the world's worst state sponsor of terrorism. The Islamic Republic Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei declares that he will not lift his ban on negotiations with the United States, describing the two countries as implacable foes. Palestinian Islamists fired a barrage of rockets from the Gaza Strip towards Israel's southern communities over the weekend. 10 launches were identified crossing the Islamist Hamas-controlled territory into the western Negev region of the Jewish state shortly after 9 p.m. on Friday evening. 8 of the incoming projectiles were immediately intercepted by the Iron Dome anti-rocket defense system, whereas one rocket scored a direct hit on a private house in the Israeli city of Sderot. While extensive property damage was caused, thankfully, the family living there entered their home's bomb shelter before the rocket's impact and emerged without injury. Several hours later, the IDF conducted retaliatory strikes against terror installations in the Gaza Strip. According to the IDF spokesperson's unit, Israeli Air Force fighter jets struck a wide range of Hamas terror targets throughout the Palestinian Strip, including numerous military installations in the southern and central districts of the terror-plagued enclave. In its statement, the IDF underscored that it views the rocket attacks targeting Israeli territory with great severity and is prepared to continue operating as necessary against attempts to harm Israeli civilians. Furthermore, in spite of the fact that it is widely believed that the Palestinian-Iranian proxy Islamic Jihad was responsible for the rocket fire, the IDF echoed Jerusalem's position, in which it holds the Islamist Hamas, which controls the enclave, responsible for all events transpiring in the Gaza Strip and emanating from it. It is important to note that the Palestinian Islamic Jihad in Gaza vehemently denied its responsibility. The Iranian-backed organization relayed a message to Egyptian intelligence officials in which it emphasized that its leadership remains committed to de-escalation. In tandem, Palestinian sources told TV7 that rogue field operatives belonging to the armed wing of the Islamic Jihad were responsible for the rocket fire over the weekend and that they acted without the authorization of their organization's leadership. Meanwhile, in Jerusalem, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu insisted that Israel's retaliation is a legitimate response to the indiscriminate rocket fire from the Palestinian enclave. During his interim government's weekly cabinet meeting, the Israeli leader reiterated his position, in which Hamas will be held accountable for all attacks that originate from the Gaza Strip.
מיד אחר הירי על עוטף עזה, אני כינסתי את הדיון של צמרת הביטחון בקריה. אני הוריתי על שורה של מטרות שעלינו לתקוף אותם, ואכן חיל האוויר תקף אותם, ובוודאי יכולתם להתרשם מעוצמת התקיפה. צריך להבין שהחמאס נושאת באחריות, מבחינתנו, לכל התקפה שיוצאת משטחה של רצועת עזה.
Netanyahu further noted that while he does not intend to go into details vis-a-vis Jerusalem's security plans, Israel will continue to take action against the enemies of the Jewish state on all fronts.
אנחנו נמצאים בתקופה ביטחונית מאוד רגישה ונפיצה בכמה וכמה זירות, במזרח, בצפון, בדרום. אני לא מתכוון לפרט כאן את התוכניות שלנו, אני כן רוצה לומר שאנחנו נמשיך לפעול בכל הזירות למען ביטחון מדינת ישראל, גם באמצעים גלויים, גם באמצעים סמויים, בים, באוויר